Hello students, you're welcome to today's session, and this is Module 1, Unit 2. My name is Andrew Dakwobing, and today we're going to talk about the importance of sound in film. I'm a sound producer for film, television, animation, and generally the audiovisual spectrum. So I deal with sound production from location to post-production. I'm also a specialist in film sound dubbing, where a film is redone all together but in another language. So today we're going to have some detail in all these areas. So you're welcome. Enjoy it. So talking about the importance of sound in film, I would say that sound is the life of the film. Without sound, the film is dead. I know that everybody who understands what I'm saying agrees with me. Without sound, it is like a body, a beautiful body lying down dead. The image is beautiful. Even if you have a moving image experience, without sound, there's no life in it. What do I mean? Sound in film is that which gives you the opportunity to use the voice, to use ambience, to use sound effect, to use music, silence, and other pillars or elements to tell the story in a very convincing and compelling manner. What do I mean? Without sound, you will not be hearing me. You will have experience like don't worry, that was just an experience of my imitating what I mean by no sound. If you're watching a movie or television production and you do not hear what the person is saying, even if they look beautiful, the shots are amazing, the scene is so fantastic, romantic if you like, but you cannot hear what they are saying. There is no ambience, there is no music, there is no effect, and it's just silence. At a point you get bored. So that is why I say sound is the life of the movie, television production or animation or whatever have you. In fact, sound can make or mar meaning destroy your movie. It's like salt. It can give taste to your food, but too much of it is bad. If you're not careful, sound can destroy it. But sound, when used well, is the one that gives life to your movie. So diegetic sound, basically number one is sound that has the characteristics of one, being accessible to the character, and two, having the source within the story frame or on the shot. For instance, I am a character on the scene, and in the next moment we hear the door knock, and then the knock again, and I turn. Nobody will tell you that the door is this way. Or if there's a gunshot, pow! But you don't see the gun, you can determine that the gun, which is the source of the sound, is within the film world that I am in, even though you're not seeing it. Now, the fact that I reacted tells you that the sound is accessible to me, number one, and two, the source is within the story world, even though you're not seeing the source. Now, when it comes to my voice is also diegetic because you are definitely seeing my lips, and my lips is the source of the sound on the screen. Now, when we talk about non-diegetic, it's basically the opposite. It's the sound that is not accessible to me. For instance, background music, that is used for mood, or the music that is used for the beginning, opening credits and end credits, or sound effects. But these are also used very creatively, such that the audience or the one who is experiencing the movie or the soundtrack would not know that the sound was not actually on location. Okay, so non-diegetic is the opposite of diegetic. Number one, it is not accessible to the character, and two, the source cannot be definitely placed on screen or in the film world presented to you. Movie makers use diegetic sound in diverse ways to influence the audience experience. One is my voice. You're hearing me, and that is me. If, for instance, right now the screen goes blank, you'll be hearing my voice, but I say, where's the image? Where is the image? In the movie where if I'm the man of the house, I'm in the kitchen cooking, you hear, James, and you hear me say, oh, women again. Yeah, she's looking for her keys. Definitely the director has used sound to tell you that in the diegetic space, there is the wife of James calling out for James. Okay, now when there is a sound like and for instance, the camera is made to shake like that, and if I'm falling off the seat and the sound of you can imagine, you can deduce that perhaps there's an earthquake or something. So sound is used, and this is diegetic. You can also use non-diegetic, where the sound source is not on the screen or in the film world. I earlier mentioned background sound music, and it's one of the very good ways of creating attention or directing the experience of the audience. Yes, music. Let me first say that there are about 5 pillars in sound design. So there is the pillar of voices, there is ambience, number 2, 3, there is music, 4, there is sound effect, 5, and there is silence. So talking about music, music can be used to convey the mood of the story. First of all, the title of the movie can tell you about the whole story, can tell you about the character or characters. It can also give you an idea about what is to happen, what to expect. Now, music is a language. Music tells about the emotions of the character, tells you about the challenges and so on and so forth. Music is international. The music can also tell you the realm the film is coming from, the genre of the film, whether it's a drama, romance, or fiction, sci-fi, and so on and so forth. Music creates tension or emotions. If the character is excited or sad, music is so powerful. So for instance, one of my movies of all time is The Lion King, the original. I'm gonna be a mighty king, the enemies beware, and that is Simba singing. Now the song is so bubbly, it's exciting with all the instruments. This is animation, but the music has been scored by a professional. And even if you are not watching the movie on the screen, you know that this guy is excited and the future is bright for him. And definitely the story that unfolds shows that he's the next king to be, Whereas the other character, the antagonist, Scar, is given a low key. He speaks with a basic voice, and his music is in the minor keys, and he sings so low, I know that your paths of pretension, and his image synchronizes with the song that comes in the darkness, that shows the evil in him. So music is really, really powerful, and we need to give that special attention to music. Professionally, a music producer should be consulted to compose the music for the film. It is called scoring for film, and he is given the script, the story, and he writes the story. It is produced professionally, and they score it according to the image and synchronizes with the timeline and everything. So music is really powerful. Don't just go and copy an existing music. Sometimes existing music can actually work with a movie, like Lean on Me. The song is by Michael Bolton, and the movie, I think, was done in another period, but it really synchronizes with the song. But the copyright must be obtained. It's really, really important. Silence, I must say, is one of my favorites. There's a quotation in the Bible that says that the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, meaning that which was not respected has become, the toast of everyone. Now, silence, not very spoken about a lot, is my favorite. It's very powerful and a very active part in sound design. If you fill every gap with music and sound effects, sometimes your soundtrack can be muddy. It can be actually distracting. But silence is also a very powerful, component of sound design. For instance, if a character is shot, you can choose to have the sound of "pow" coming with a gun, or a bomb blast, or a building breaking, or somebody falling down dead, for us to hear the sound, the sound of the falling down of the character. Or you can use silence. How? You can suggest to the director with the editor and work on an approach or a style by when you show the shot of the bullet leaving the barrel of the gun, you can introduce a slow motion. And at that moment, the sound can fade down with a sound effect like, and the bullet is going slowly. It hits the character, and then you can either have a splash of the blood or no sound at all. The person can look at the chest and slowly goes down. All in silence. You could also have the person lie on the bed and without showing the face, because sometimes directors are, attached to the emotions of your viewers. And I like that. I don't want to cry every time, but sometimes you want the audience to cry. There's a movie every time when I watch, I kind of, get angry with the director. Why did you end this way? I'm a movie maker, but I still get emotional. You can also have the character dying without showing the face, but slow motion with the hand going like that. The hand goes down, and if the person was holding a glass or pen, the item can drop slow motion. It's also a very powerful way of using silence. This also works very, very well for me. It also gives the audience the opportunity to think. Audiences are intelligent. You're not dumb. So allow them some space to think, to digest, and to expect or suspect what is coming. Silence helps you to introduce intrigue and suspense in your movies, like in horror movies and so on and so forth, or in creating tension. Silence gives room for speculation. What if? What if? Who is coming? What is happening? Sometimes nothing happens and it is a swerve. Sometimes you can also capitalize on it and use it very creatively to move the story forward. Under the umbrella of diegetic sound, there is internal diegetic sound and external diegetic sound. External, let me talk about external, is the sound like my voice. You are seeing me, you are hearing me, so this is external and there's nothing hidden. But internal diegetic sound has to do with sound that is in the psyche or the psychology or the mental state of the character. As I'm speaking now, I'm speaking, but there are a lot of things going on in my mind. You are listening to me, you are processing the image. And as you are listening, you're also thinking about your next move. You have something to do, maybe another appointment. Nobody knows what you're thinking, but if the director allows the audience to know and therefore to hear what the character is thinking or processing in the mind, is called internal diegetic sound. Now, there is a scenario of a young boy, Tom, 9-year-old, sitting in the field, smoke, fire, broken buildings, people lying down, wounded, many dead, and Tom is sitting down and sobbing. Tom is sitting by a young man, about 18-year-old, not moving, presumably dead. It's a war zone, and Tom is crying over his brother who had been taking care of him. As Tom is weeping, the ambience, the atmosphere is very quiet, but you can see smoke and fire. And nobody tells you, you don't need to know that this is the end product of a war. And as Tom is sobbing quietly, the camera zooms in slowly to his eyes. And we hear faintly, as the ambience of the present situation of Tom dies out, a song begins slowly from the background. It's a male voice singing. And though we don't see the source of the person singing, the music rises and we see Tom getting more and more emotional. After a cutaway to the environment, the next shot shows Tom singing, and we realize that it is he, the same character, who is singing. And then another voice comes in, gently there's a fade to another scene, and we realize that in the psychological state of Tom, he's remembering a song that he sings with his brother John when John was alive. Now, in this scenario, you realize that music has been used to give an opportunity for the audience to get into the psychological state of Tom. We could have various scenarios continuing in the mind of Tom. He could have heard his mom talking, have an exciting time with daddy when they went to the field and so on and so forth, and we come back to him, and then, a series of flashbacks and so on and so forth. So music can be used very creatively, either in the futuristic sense or into the future and come back to the present. Music is really, really powerful. And when used very well, you can direct the attention of the audience, manage them very well, and it can contribute immensely to the success of the story. Thank you very much. I believe you have enjoyed this session. Watch out for our next session, which will be more exciting. Thank you and see you. Bye-bye.